Surprise! I'm live. Yeah, I thought this could be fun. I'm in New York City for the New York City Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, NYCC. And I thought I'd just do an impromptu live stream here. I haven't announced it, so it'll probably take a minute for people to filter in. But I'm going to take a moment with my phone to post the link to some of my social channels so that people know that I'm live. But I've got a few comic ebook things to talk about. Look, some people popping in. We've got hello, Sir Mr. Howell, Double Gold, Grace Spade, Iron Shell. Hello, all. Yeah, just thought I'd do a quick improv live stream because I'm in my hotel for a little while my wife is getting ready. We're going to go see my best friend from college and gonna have dinner with him. But in the meantime, I've got like a little downtime, and I don't ever like not doing anything. So I thought I'd do a live stream, and I was like, do I have anything that I'd talk about? And yeah, actually, I do. I can talk about what I do to prepare for going to a Comic-Con and see what all of you do, and talk about like some of the things that I would like to do when I get to Comic-Con tomorrow. I know that the lighting and the sound isn't as good as normal. I'm just doing this off of my Microsoft Surface. Let's see. I like this joke. All right. Oh, that's right. I can show these comments. Look at that. Hello from the UK. What? No stairwell? No, so far I have not gotten myself trapped in a stairwell. So thank you. Wishing you well in all things. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Etienne had hello, Ricky Prickles. Oh, I almost missed something. Hold on. Where was it? That's so great. For once, it's not 2 a.m. for us Europeans. Right. It's got to be at least a little closer, right? I'm on East Coast time right now, which I'm not necessarily used to. But let's see. My plan, sunglasses. I have several panic attacks. Oh, my God. Yeah, that sounds serious. Hello, Joe. What do you know? If you hear any background noise, I'm sharing this hotel room with my wife. She's getting prepared. So, but this is, yeah. Oh, I forgot to actually, I'm going to share this to social media. I got distracted talking to all of you. Give me one moment to do that. Hey, Jeannie. Look, hello, Sheldon. There's my sister, Jean. Yeah, just an impromptu live stream here, but I'm going to share it just so that people can see. And tomorrow I'm going to New York Comic-Con, and just one day. I think that'll be enough for me. Oh, look, I just opened a package from you, says Gene. You want to tell them what that is? Because it's comic book related. I sent my sister a present. I didn't think you were in New York until tomorrow. No, I got into New York last night, and just doing other New Yorky things. But oh, and Jeannie, thank you so much for the flowers. That was really nice. For those of you who don't know, the day before Chrissy and I went on this trip, we had a really tough night. Our cat all of a sudden was not doing well. It's like 16 and a half. And we had to go to a 24-hour vet at like 4 a.m. And unfortunately, he was not doing well, and we had to say goodbye to him. So that was really tough. That was really, really tough. So in a way, it's good that I'm on this trip because it kind of gets my mind off of things. If I was at home and sort of looking at all the areas where I normally see him, I think that would be tough. Hold on, I'm just tweeting real quick, and then I'll be with everybody. Thank you. So many people are here. That's really amazing. Yes, Jeannie, we definitely got them. Thank you. And here's what I sent my sister. Whoops. So sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, everybody's saying sorry. So I missed Jeannie's comment real quick. Let me jump up. This is what I sent my sister, because in one of the previous regular weekly Spinner Rack live streams, I was talking about how much I love the manga Spy Family. Jeannie, you said that sounded really funny. I think it's incredible. I think it's a really solid story and really funny. So I decided to send that your way, and I hope you like it. Something for us to talk about. Let's see. Look at this. First time that I can actually watch you live, since it's usually about 3 a.m. where I live when you live stream. I know it's not always perfect for everyone. Thanks for being here. That's nice of you. Yeah, thank you. Chrissy and I are definitely we're definitely taking that pretty hard. You know, it's a pet that you've had since it was a kitten, like, 16 and a half years living with an animal like that. That's you have a really strong bond, and it really hurts to lose them. But I'm glad that I'm on a trip right now and that I can sort of focus on something kind of fun and different. And there was a chance if he was like real sick like that maybe we would have at the last minute just canceled this. We couldn't have like just left him like that. So yeah. So here's one thing I always bring to a Comic-Con when I can: a bottle of water. You can't like overstate how important that is. I'm glad you got to read that. Hello, Big Gay Dave. Hello, Human Falafel. Nice to see everybody. I have a unique backpack for when I go to Comic-Con. I'll show you that. So this is my backpack, especially for Comic-Cons. And if you look really close there, that is designed by Jim Lee. Yeah, Jim Lee designed an exclusive convention backpack for conventions, comic conventions. And look at that. Hey, it's my buddy Hoodie Coco. If you guys like G.I. Joe, and hey, what am I wearing, Brian? What am I wearing? You know I love G.I. Joe. But if you like G.I. Joe, the best channel for G.I. Joe content, in my opinion, and there's some good ones out there, but the best one, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, does reviews of the vintage toy line, some of the classified stuff, comics. It's a great channel, really, really entertaining. That's an interesting question. Miguel, am I getting any comics signed? None that I brought to get signed. Good question. And I know that that's something a lot of people do. I do love seeing creators, and I love getting sketches. I love buying, like, if they've got like an art book or something like that. I love getting that. And if they're there and they're willing to sign it or do a sketch in it, I love that stuff. But I generally do not bring comics with me to a Comic-Con. I try to travel lightly. So what do I have in here? Well, I've got like this little pouch here. And what does that have in it? Couple things. I always bring a few art tools just in case there's an excuse for me to sit down and draw. I love drawing. So I've got my favorite pencil, which is this Graph Gear 1000 by Pentel. It's just a mechanical pencil, but it's weighted really nice. It's like kind of heavy metal at the top. Heavy metal! And it's just like really well balanced. It's got a nice grip. I love drawing with this thing. And then a couple brush pens just because they're very fast and easy to work with. So I always bring a few tools. Masks are required, so I do have some masks in there. Now, if you guys are at New York Comic Con, I do have some of these Comic Tropes enamel pins, which I think are really nice. I do have some of those that I would have for sale, like $10. If somebody sees me and asks, cool, I've got them. And then perhaps most importantly for what I do, where is it in here? I'm digging in my, digging in here. What did I? Oh, I moved it into the side pocket. A power bank, a power battery bank, because for you guys, I'm going to try to record as much video as possible. And so obviously I need to keep my phone powered up. So I've got a big, heavy bank that will be in one of the side pockets. I've got two side pockets. So I'll have the power bank in one. I will have the water bottle in the other. And so those are like the two things that I would like sort of need to get through my day. First live stream you've been able to see? Well, I'm really happy to have you here. I'm just sort of talking about what I take with me to conventions. I will sometimes decorate my bag slightly. So right now I've got a Do a Power Bomb pin because, I love Daniel Warren Johnson's work. So Do a Power Bomb. I've got this Japanese mythical cat that I got from Zach Davison. He writes a lot of stuff with Peach Momoko these days and also translates a lot of important manga. And who's this? Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar. Not my favorite Godzilla movie, but I do have a fondness for how goofy this humongous robot is. And I love the design work of Tom Whalen. He's the guy that designed that. Tom Whalen's designs are so, so great. Let's see, what's this saying? 6 years completed? Yeah, I think I've done the show for 6 years on Comic Tropes, yeah. My sister says about the power bank. Wait, what did I'm so bad at keeping up with all the chats. Don't forget the cord. No, I definitely won't. And then what's cool about this, what makes it sort of a convention backpack is, normally you're used to sort of this is a very rectangular design, if you can tell from that. And you open the top, and inside, it's all segmented so that you can put comics in each thing. And these are all reinforced and covered in sort of a felt so that they're soft. So you can stack your comics or your art prints in there, and they're protected. So it's just extra good for, it's got about 8 pouches in here, maybe more. There's a big one that I could put a laptop in. There you go. Tom will be wailing on them designs. Tom Whalen's incredible. Let's see. Greetings from Germany. What's hello in German? All of a sudden I'm forgetting. Yeah, Guten Tag. Chrissy knows. What bag is that? Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is, just to be clear, this is, I don't think it's for sale anymore, but Jim Lee designed a bag for Nordstrom, the clothing outlet, the sort of bougie high-end clothing outlet. And I do have some comics in here that I took with me on the airplane. And I won't do full reviews, but flying from Seattle to New York is, I think it took us about 4.5 hours. Let's see. Oh, hi. You caught me scrolling through YouTube. Greetings from New Zealand. Very cool. My grandfather was born in New Zealand. I got to visit there someday. Oh, this is a good one. Shin Matthias. So far, that's the joke of the day. Yeah. Filled with pouches, just like Jim Lee would do. Let's see. At work, wrapped up some meetings and looked to put something fun on YouTube to listen to. And if it isn't my favorite YouTuber, to make my Friday. Well, good. Glad that we can have some people here. So I picked up a good amount of comics this week. A good amount, right? Look at that. First of all, now that I read The Nice House on the Lake trade paperback, that's the first 6 issues. I got the next 3. That's a really cool horror comic that isn't focused on gore or violence. It's more just a very creepy idea of people being trapped in this perfect area, but they're still trapped and they don't understand it. It's very surreal. I decided to try IDW's Saturday Morning Adventures version of Ninja Turtles. They did a Saturday Morning Adventures of G.I. Joe that felt note perfect, it was extra cartoon episodes, and this is very much the same. Let's see. Is there a bad amount of comics? No. Greetings from Austria. Don't forget to bring a towel. Yes, always be prepared. A towel can keep you dry. It can keep you from getting sunburned. It can be used as a pillow. Folks, this one I was on the fence about picking up just because I was I don't know, it's a new book. Do I really want it? I think it was $5, which is a lot. Oh no, it was only $3.99 only these days. That's good. Dark Ride. all I can say is it's a good time for horror. And this is all about this seemingly haunted amusement park. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. Let's see, what's this? Usually I can't get to check in on your usual pros and cons since it's 2 a.m. Glad to catch you up here. Well, I'm glad to have you. Thank you. Newest issue of Batman. He's fighting a new enemy called Failsafe. It's a robot. Look at this. Super chat. I gotta get up here so that we can see this. Etienne. Great name. Great name. I heard that name when I went to college in New Orleans. I came across at least 2 Etiennes. I'm thrilled to catch this live. Thanks for the wholesome, insightful content. I tried to grab a few of your recommendations yesterday, but single issues are hard to come by in France. Have a great con. I will try that. Where are you in France, Etienne? Because one of the comic conventions I personally would love to attend, is Angoulême, which is a comic festival for you folks that don't know. Basically, almost the whole town celebrates comics. It's a huge celebration of the art form. It's obviously, like being in France, it's not necessarily focused on superhero stuff per se, just comics in general, but they acknowledge comics across the world. It's good. I picked up the latest issue of Dark Crisis. I don't know. It's not really for me. I don't always get reprints, but I do sort of like what Marvel and DC do these days, where they don't just reprint these things. They go so far as to reprint the original ads and everything. So these replicas can be very fun, and it's an affordable way to read a back issue. Here's the only thing I don't love about it, and I've talked about this in an episode on comic tropes I made about coloring. These colors were all designed to be on newsprint. So these reds weren't designed to necessarily pop that much. The colorist knew that when they used a certain red on the newsprint they used to publish with, that it would be a lot dimmer. It would not be this garish, is what I'll call it, because they did not recolor anything. They used the same notes for what colors should be used, but now they're printing on a glossy, high-end paper. And it's still great artwork by Gene Colan. It's cool. It's a cool comic. You know what? Somebody has a good point here. It's better in black and white. Gene Colan had an illustrative style that did look fantastic in black and white. Daniel, I didn't need to compete with my hero. Daniel Warren Johnson is streaming on the floor right now. Did you talk to him today? I didn't go to the convention today. I'm going tomorrow. Some of the people I hope to see. I would love to see Daniel Warren Johnson. By the way, I saw him at Emerald City Comic Con, and I was able to commission him. Let me see if I can pull that up. Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm trying to think of the terms to use for searching this. I'd love to show you guys what I have. I'll show you when I get it in person. I can't seem to find it easily. Darn. Oh well. I commissioned Daniel Warren Johnson to draw Guts from Berserk, one of my favorite mangas. So I hope to see Daniel Warren Johnson. I think I'd really like to meet Tom King. One of the books I picked up today is I went to Midtown Comics. It's a great comic book store, really, really big, right in the heart of Times Square. And this book, Human Target, is incredible. And it was just a week or two ago that I was doing an episode of this show, and I read Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Also fantastic. So I think Tom King is killing it with these sort of 12-issue series. I'd really like to meet him and talk to him. I'd love to see some folks that I've seen before, like Kyle Higgins, Radiant Black, Jim Zub, like stuff like Conan. I'm going to meet my friend EJ Sue, who's a fantastic illustrator. What would you guys have seen his work in? Possibly Tech Jacket, if you ever read that Robert Kirkman comic. He did a couple things with Robert Kirkman, and he's currently doing a web comic for Marvel called Test Kitchen, about somebody that's like a chef in. He drew Guts on his Friday live stream. I think he drew mine like a couple weeks ago, so I'm not sure. I got to check his live stream. Yeah, Winston, totally agree. Human Target is the best thing on the shelf. It's such a great, it feels noir. I love crime comics, love them. And that's what this is. The main character has been poisoned. He's got 12 days to figure out his own murder. And his chief suspects are the members of the Justice League International, which is kind of known as a goofy team. Anyway, what else did I pick up? Yeah, Chrissy was mentioning some of the other people. I'm going to meet my friend Mark Engler, who he does prints these days. He did a comic with Kirkman called Capes. He also did Savage Dragon, both with Kirkman and with Eric Larson. So he has done some comics, but these days he does limited edition prints, usually based on pop culture. He's been hired by Disney, by Paramount for Star Trek. He's done stuff for Game of Thrones and Star Wars. Just an incredible artist. And his latest is a triptych, like 3 images of the 3 animated movies Disney has from Hawaii. So he's got something for Moana, Lilo and Stitch, and Luca. Beautiful work. He's also got a Back to the Future print coming out. So I can't wait to see him. I'm going to meet Sal from Comic Pop, I think. We've got each other's numbers. He's probably still on the floor, maybe streaming or something. I know he interviewed Todd McFarlane today, so that's pretty cool. Good for you. I picked up Edge of Spider-Verse because I realized there was only this one last issue. It was a weird, like last week I was like, I think I'm going to give up. There was only one more issue. I picked it up. You know what? It's actually a pretty good issue. I picked up Spider-Man #1. Folks, art by Mark Bagley, who has drawn more issues of Spider-Man than anybody else. Written by Dan Slott, who has written more Spider-Man than anyone else. It's pretty fun. This is pretty fun. It's Spider-Verse stuff, but a new version of like Spider-Verse stuff, a new bigger threat. But these guys know Spider-Man inside and out. And there's some amazing twists and turns. Geez, I was about to show something, but it would just be a little too spoilery. It's actually pretty darn fun. Mandalorian, fun to revisit that. And finally, last but definitely not least, Miracle Man #0. Folks, a new Miracle Man story. It's been about 40 years, I think. It's close to that. No, maybe Miracle Man came out 40 years ago, but it's been over 30 years since we've had a new Miracle Man story. Oh, is Luca Italian? I didn't see that one. The Spider-Man, I think, is ongoing. I believe so. But for now, it's Spider-Verse stuff. But anyway, this is an anthology. So a bunch of new writers and artists sort of play in that world, telling stories in the world of Miracle Man. It's very much in the vein of something along the lines of Watchmen. If you know, it feels very Alan Moore-esque, at least in a world that he would have created. It feels authentic to that. I kind of liked it. I've absolutely read From Hell. It's an incredible look at the history of Whitechapel. Not just Jack the Ripper, but there's a lot of Alan Moore in there explaining history and the occult. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Whoops, I just had that one. Let's see. That Miracle Man is from Alan Davis. The cover is. The insides are all by different people. What's the new Spidey thread? A multiversal council of Paste Pot Pete? No, that's the third Spider-Verse where I come in. And yeah, I'm Paste Pot Pete. Make a tropes review of Naruto. I haven't read it. So yeah, I've been asked that before. Will I do an episode on Kim Jong-il? I probably won't do it immediately because that would sort of feel very exploitative right now. And sometimes I try to do something for an artist right when they pass away to sort of give them credit. And sometimes I feel like it would be exploitative. So it's hard to say. Will I do one? Probably. An artist I very much admired. And in retrospect, I'm glad I got to meet him. I got to meet him at least 3 times that I can think of. And I got some original sketches by him 2 of those times. And that was nice. He was very friendly, had a translator with him. Yeah, great guy. I've seen pictures of it so far, Tari. I'm going to go to the convention tomorrow. And that was one of the things I was going to say that I was hoping to do, was see him again. Because I've seen him several times. Yeah, very sad and shocking. He's basically my age. So very scary when you hear I don't feel like I'm old. I know I'm older than a lot of my audience, but I don't feel like I'm an old person. I just, I don't feel old. Some people might think I'm old, but I don't think I'm old. But then you see somebody your age died from a heart attack or something like that. And you're like, Jesus Christ, is this something I should be thinking about? I don't know. I am trying to eat healthy is all I can say. Maybe for his birthday, he did draw some comics. Yeah, I would definitely consider it. Spy Game was a comic that he did. That was pretty interesting. His illustration was just amazing. Just amazing. First time catching me live. This is the advantage, I guess, of going at a different time. I'm glad I could do a small impromptu live stream and talk about the convention and what I do to get ready for it and stuff. I thought they went back to the name Marvel Man. Doesn't Marvel still own the rights? Not still. Marvel sort of relatively recently got the rights. But while he was Marvel Man originally over in the UK, I think that Miracle Man is probably what he's better known as. And even though Marvel has the rights, I don't think they want to call him Marvel Man because I don't think that they want to set him full-time in the main Marvel universe. And that sounds like a Marvel character if you call him Marvel Man and it's coming out from Marvel. And then you'd be like, well, where's Wolverine and Spider-Man, Oh, that's an interesting question here. What conventions do I usually go to? Honestly, not many these days. I try to go to this one, New York Comic Con, every year. I didn't go at the last minute last year because of, the pandemic was still going on and it just didn't. Well, I had tickets and at the last minute I was like, nah, I just don't think I want to risk it. And I go to Emerald City Comic Con and I might go to some other sort of small local conventions in the Seattle area. I'm not traveling a lot these days. When I lived on the East Coast, which I did for most of my life, that's the tub if you hear that. But anyway, because Chrissy's with me. But when I was on the East Coast, one of my favorite conventions to go to was SPX, the Small Press Expo in Bethesda, Maryland. A lot of passion on display there. Got to really meet more indie creators, even sometimes big names, we'll say Harvey Pekar or Charles Burns or somebody along those lines. And you get to really get to talk to them, which is nice. I would always go to the Baltimore Comic Con, which is good. I've been to the Boston one. I've been to the Philadelphia one. I'd go to ones in DC. So when I was on the East Coast, I would go to more conventions. I don't go to as many now. Why don't I go to CXC? I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure which one that is off the top of my head. Yeah. Oh, here that's a good suggestion here from Israel. Have I done an episode on Amanda Connor? Not yet, and she definitely would be very worthy of doing some analysis. I mean, yeah, she's incredible, both as a writer and an artist. I think that she really sort of did fashion Harley Quinn into what Harley Quinn is perceived as today. I think that the two people that made the biggest impact on Harley Quinn are probably like well, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm from the animated show, since they created her, and then I think Amanda Connor. I think Amanda Connor probably made the next biggest impact on that character. Oh, look at this. Going to be at New York Comic Con tomorrow. Well, keep your eye out for me. I'll be there. I'll be just wandering the floor. I'm not going to be at a table. I suspect I will be spending a good amount of time in Artist Alley. There's a lot of great creators there this year. Like a lot of big names have their own tables, and I want to take my time there. But of course, the main show floor is just overwhelmingly entertaining, just because the pavilions that the big publishers and distributors and stuff set up are it's incredible, and the cosplay, yeah. Oh, okay. Comics Crossroads Columbus. Well, I think that the Cartoonist Kayfabe guys went to that one, didn't they? That's on the other end of the country for me, so that one would be a tough one to sort of justify. I'm going to a few panels in the McFarland signing. I don't know who McFarland is, I'll be honest. I'm not. I need the first name to know. Let's see. CXC is this weekend. Seems similar to SPX. Well, I love SPX, so if it's similar at all, I love those small press conventions. They're incredible. But yeah, that was fun today to swing by Midtown Comics. Just got the one comic, but that's a great shop. They pretty much carry everything. So if you're just looking if you're near here and you just want a place that carries both indie and mainstream, they've got everything, and manga and stuff like that. McFarland Sr. I don't know who McFarland Sr. is. I'm really sorry. I don't know who that is. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm glad to be here in New York. I'm having some good times with my wife. Going to see a friend tonight. Going to go to the convention tomorrow. It'll be nice. Nice shirt, Yo Joe. I love G.I. Joe. Love it. Oh, McFarlane. Well, that devious bastard, Sal from Comic Pop, interviewed him on a live stream today on Comic Book Resources. It would be a real shame if you guys went and gave him those views. That's Sal. He's the most devious bastard in New York City. Anybody know that reference? You really are the most devious bastard in New York City. Damn you, Sal. No, Sal seems like good people. I'd love to meet. I've never met him in person, so hopefully tomorrow we do get to meet up. That would be fun. That would be really fun to talk to. The only person that I talk to regularly that's a YouTuber is a guy that's in here. Yeah, Laszlo. You guys knew what I was doing. All right. I know I can't do Matthew Berry's voice, but that was my version of it. Hooded Cobra Commander is in the chat, and he runs a YouTube channel about G.I. Joe. And I just got to say, now that I think of it, I guess we've known each other for several years, and it's been so nice to have another person that does YouTube to sort of bounce off things like ideas and just sort of sometimes vent about the stresses that can come with this very unique job. But I would love to sometimes get to know I've talked friendly with some other comic YouTubers. I really respect a bunch of them, but I wouldn't say that I know them super well. It would be nice to be better friends with some of them. We'll see. You still talk to Godzilla Mendoza a little bit, probably not as much as I should. Have I said, hey, I'm walking over here? Not today, but my wife was just remembering one of her favorite things that I did one time. was at night. We're walking near Times Square. I can't remember what we were doing because it was several years ago, and the crowds were like really backed up for some reason, like really backed up, like stop and go at a certain point. And I just went up to a cop and I just sort of like tried to talk in a New York accent so that he'd take me seriously. I go, hold on, I'll do that in a second, Chrissy. And I went like, hey, what's going on over here? He's like, some sort of parade. And I go, forget about it. Like, it really cracked her up that like he just treated me like a New Yorker, like, but I was really just doing a voice. I was just having fun. Hey, what's going on over here? Chrissy says, do an impression of Borat, doing an impression of Matt Berry. You really are bastard of New York. Let's see. Hey, what else do we have here? Don't want to get shanked. No, I don't want to get shanked. I don't. Whoops, clicked the wrong one. What was that? Are you going to have a stream Monday? Not 100% sure, Iron Shell. It will depend on how busy I am. I would like to, and if I do, it would be kind of this same format where I can only do it for, like, I don't have my whole setup. I'm on vacation, right? So I only have my Surface and my phone. So I wouldn't be drawing for you guys. I wouldn't really be able to have a dual camera setup or anything. But it might be fun. If I'm around, I would absolutely love to do a live stream in New York at night and sort of talk through what I got to see at New York Comic Con. Oh, Black Phoenix. Who's Matt Berry? Matt Berry is a British actor who I just find absolutely hilarious. He's done so many great shows. The IT Crowd, What We Do in the Shadows is like a show that's going on now that's great. I also really love him in something called Toast of London. He's got a deep, sonorous voice. Lots of great stuff. Can I do an impression of Chris from Comic Tropes? Oh, hey! Can you do an impression of when you sell cars? Yeah, it's not very exciting. Hi, what brings you in today? Oh, well, what has you looking at cars today? Are you looking to trade something in? Are you looking to just buy a car? It's boring. Oh, yes, that one, Matt Berry's incredible in. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. 6-episode show, criminally underwatched, is available on YouTube if you look it up. 6 episodes, crazy. The premise is that a guy who's kind of like Stephen King, but nowhere near as good, but really big ego, created a TV show that he decided to also star in about a haunted hospital. He's called Garth Marenghi. So they both have the show that they made, supposedly, as well as interviews with the cast and crew on the making of this terrible show. It's really, really funny. Garth Marenghi's. Let's see. I thought I felt awesomeness. You're near me, geographically speaking. Good. Good. Hi, Chris, in the city that never sleeps. That's true, because just to be clear, like, you know, we're on West Coast time and everything. Chrissy and I were out, you know, having food up till like 2 a.m. And then we're like, we got to get to sleep because we got to get used to this new schedule. And there's plenty still open. Anything you're looking to see at New York Comic Con but didn't? Well, I haven't gone yet. I'm going to go tomorrow. I mostly hope to see, hello, Moses. I hope to see a bunch of like creators, you know. I just want to meet as many artists and writers as I can. I really hope that anybody that watches my show is confident enough to introduce themselves, because I don't know who watches my show, and I'm not going to have an ego about that. But it really makes me feel great when somebody is brave enough and kind enough to just tell me, hey, I watch your show. It makes me feel like cool. I'm not just shouting into a vacuum. So I hope to see that. And I'm hoping to get like a lot of great video about a lot of great video of like cosplay and just like walking and showing you. I'm gonna like record as much as I can, and I'll try to make an edited video that hopefully makes you feel like you got to be there, like as much as possible. Anyone in particular, asks Moses. I was sort of mentioning this earlier. Daniel Warren Johnson, Kyle Higgins, Tom King are some that I definitely want to see. EJ Sue, Mark Englert, ones you might not know as well, but that I really, really want to see. I need to see the whole guest list. There's a lot. There's a lot that I'd like to see. Thank you. Nice to see you too. Thoughts on Michael Turner? Well, I'll tell you that, like, I met him once at an Chicago Comic-Con, I think the year before he passed away, and that's sad. He seemed very, very nice. I say that. He seemed like a nice guy, and I know a lot of people love his artwork. I'll be honest, his artwork never really appealed to me, but that's more of beauty in the eye of the beholder thing, right? I'm not saying he was a bad artist, but I am trying to be honest that it never really did it for me. Some of the decisions he would make. He has a pretty famous Flash cover where the Flash is just standing there, but then like the colorist drew all this lightning as though like maybe he ran and then just stopped suddenly. But I don't feel like that's dynamic enough, if that makes sense. Hey, Shabir, love the G.I. Joe shirt. Did you see Elvira or Jeffrey the Toys R Us giraffe? No, I didn't see either of them. We actually did, just to be clear, Chrissy and I did jump into the Macy's here, and the Toys R Us at Macy's in New York City is not open yet. I think it opens in 7 more days. 7 more days. Oh, yeah. Hey, Kevin Eastman again. If there's not like a crazy line, I would love to see Kevin Eastman again. I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. Will there be tributes for Mr. Perez? Maybe. Maybe like tomorrow night will be like the Harvey Awards. So maybe like they remember some of the people that we lost this year. Yeah. Glad I could catch a live stream. Hope you're doing well. Doing great. Just sort of wanted to talk, about like taking my unique comic book backpack to the convention. Oh, here, what else do I have in here? I probably won't be allowed to take this in, but what kind of like snacks can I have? Like being sort of diabetic, I can spicy peanuts. Basically, have no like sugar or anything on them. Very, very little in the way of carbs. Also, like, something like beef sticks are pretty overall healthy. A little processed, but still a decent snack. I don't know if I'll be able to take those in. Thank you for the super chat here. Thank you for the super chat. I got to get used to saying that fast like Twitch streamers do. Thank you for the super chat. The Purple Lord Leo Anansi was walking around the New York Comic-Con yesterday. First time at a Comic-Con. Up for a meet and greet outside of the con. I probably don't have time this year to do something like that outside of the convention. And, maybe I'm naive, Purple Lord. I didn't necessarily think that was something that people would be interested in. And then I got some messages asking about that. And so now I feel a little guilty. Like apparently there was a market for that. Peach Momoko. I'd love to meet Peach. Yeah, love Peach Momoko. And by the way, that name is great. Like, what would that translate? That would translate Momoko to like Peach Girl. So her name's like Peach Girl. You don't think they will be checking bags? I think that they probably will, though. Hello, Daniel. Nice to see you again, too. Let's see. Don't forget to bring a one chip as a snack. That's not going to happen, just to be clear. I will never go near that again. I learned my lesson. Not for me. Not for me. And yeah, I might have like sausage, but you're right, Shin Matthias, not having the sausage rolls. Oh, you guys that have heard my sausage roll story know. I forget which episode of the live stream that was in. I got to mark that one so that people can find it, like that story. Been going to New York Comic Con since 14. Usually don't let much food in unless it's almost finished. Lots of people actually eat in line. Exactly. That's what I've always seen. Usually they won't let you bring in water either. So when I say that I'm bringing water, what I'm actually doing is bringing a water bottle, an empty water bottle. And then when I get into the convention, I'll just constantly be filling like this recyclable water bottle, because water is important, and man, people overlook that. And what else will I do to get ready for the convention? Why, I'll be taking a shower in the morning. I will be using soap and shampoo. I will be brushing my teeth and using deodorant. And I would strongly recommend anybody else that goes to a convention consider doing these things. It's a lot of people. It's not always super cold in there. The one thing that is true about big conventions, yeah, some people don't smell so great. So I will be doing that. And that's another thing that I will be doing. Let's see. Magic K says, and thank you for the super chat. I hope you get a chance to watch Shin Ultraman in New York Comic Con tomorrow. I want to know your opinion about this adaptation. Ultraman is something that fascinates me, but that I don't know a whole lot about yet. I've been to Japan several times, and I've seen some of the different versions of him as toys. I've seen some manga. I've seen TV shows, but it's always been in Japanese, so I haven't really understood it. And I know some of it has been translated, but I don't know it super well. Yeah, this was being asked earlier, Zach. Massive fan of Kim Jong-il. If you've been following my social media for any amount of time, I've met him several times. I've got some original art by him. Huge fan. Devastating news. Devastating news. This is good. Talking about Michael Turner, I just Googled that cover, that flash cover by Turner, and I like it. Like I say, I don't have anything bad to say about the man. I just, some art is going to appeal to some people and not appeal to others. Michael Turner's art never quite appealed to me in a big way, but I know that he was popular and he seemed nice, like when I met him. So yeah. Oh, this is smart. Another benefit of wearing a mask, it filters the odor. That's good. I should do a crossover with Comic Pop. Well, like I say, I'm hoping to meet Sal tomorrow. I'm really offended that he's not watching this live stream right now. He's probably at the convention right now. And he did have me on to his show once for an interview. If I could think of a good excuse, I would love to collaborate with certain people. Sal from Comic Pop makes a lot of sense. If I had a good idea, I've collaborated with Godzilla Mendoza, and I love that guy. I would love to collaborate, with Matt Draper but he wants to now do movies. He says he doesn't know what comics are. I don't know if I fully believe that. I'm thinking maybe I could lure him back, be like, hey, how about you talk about comics over with me if you're not going to talk about comics anymore? I'll take your opinions. I'd love to collaborate with the cartoonist kayfabe guys. We talk about it, but it just always ends up falling apart. Let's see. How do you feel about creators taking a back seat at Comic-Cons? I don't like it at all. Guys, who's a bigger fan of comics than me? Well, there's probably some people, but I love it. I love comics as a medium. So when I go to a Comic-Con, my favorite stuff to see is comics, new comics, and the creators, the people that make it. That's the main thing I'm there for. I don't mind some of the merchandise. I like action figures and t-shirts and stuff like that. I do like that stuff. When they start adding stuff that's not really related, I feel like it's a waste of space and attention. For instance, I haven't gone to this one yet, but sometimes there's cars on the showroom floor. Like Toyota Prius bought some showroom space. I'm like, what's the point? I've seen massage tables. I'm like, okay, I get it. You can get some business, but what's that got to do with comics? I've been there, and they'll have a small wrestling ring, and local indie wrestlers are wrestling. And I've gone to ones. I haven't seen this in a long time, but Wizard World was kind of infamous for having a lot of porn stars in Artist Alley, and I'd just be like, not not that every comic needs to be family friendly, but I think a convention should be more or less safe to like walk up and down the aisles with a young child. And then you've got like, like porn star there, and it's like not like you're seeing anything per se, but I don't think you should be like advertising that when there's like 5-year-olds around. It's just weird. I'm trying not to be a prude, but I'm like, no, like we came here looking for comics. So I wasn't coming here to have like these other things presented to me. If there's an area that has a little bit of anime or video games, I'm okay with that. If there was like a ton of video games, I'm like, that doesn't quite relate. I understand the crossover appeal. I like these things too, but whatever. Yeah, Cheeser like is reminding me, like, 2016 had some Suicide Squad brands. Exactly. One of the things you see this year, by the way, if you're walking around New York, any of you that are here in New York right now know, everywhere in New York, there are like these digital like signs, not billboards. They're like, the size of like, a TV or something on like all this, some of the, not all of the, some of the, what would you call it? Light posts and stuff like that, lamp posts. And they're advertising for DoorDash. Fine. It's a collaboration with Marvel. So I guess they've got a comic showing all the different empowering ways that like these DoorDashers are like using DoorDash to support themselves. Like they're like, this person is going to college to get like a really advanced scientific degree and just does DoorDash to pay for his books. And this one is a single mom and she does DoorDash to support her kids. And I'm like, it's the gig economy. Like, let's not oversell. Like, these people are not getting rich off of any of this, These people are taking this job until they can get something better for the most part. But it's everywhere, that ad. And, I don't exactly blame either of the companies for doing it. I'll use DoorDash. I don't have anything against DoorDash, but don't try to like present it to me that the people that are doing this are like so empowered that they're superheroes. I've not been to the Mocha Arts Festival, Wally. I wanted to put that up so I don't forget, but I would love to. Yeah, product placement. Look, I expect some of it at a big convention. At a mid-size and small convention, I hope not. A big one, I get why it's there. I guess there are clever ways to integrate things, and there are things that are slamming you over the head with Thor's Mjolnir hammer. And, like if you put, okay, say the Transformers movie came out and they had a comic and on the showroom floor is the actual car from the movie, I'd go, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, fine. But if you just have a Nissan Sentra that has Batman's logo painted on it, I'm like, whatever. When is the first Comic Trope Comic-Con happening? I don't think I've got that kind of an audience yet, so probably not anytime soon. Gonna visit Forbidden Planet? Maybe. It all depends. Like, I don't have a plan to, but I like Forbidden Planet. It's a cool store. I'm not searching for anything specific to buy. I don't know about you guys. Like, I've been talking about what I do, but I'd be curious out there. What do you bring when you go to a Comic-Con? Do you bring a book to be signed? Do you bring cash versus credit card? Do you go there looking to buy specific things, or do you like ever write down a list of like, I want to meet this creator and I want to buy these back issues? Do any of you like, what do you do to plan? Yeah, Jamilin says, have you heard any more about the free Jack in the Box comic? Seems like it's been a while. I agree. I have not gotten mine yet. I did have one of my listeners tag me on Twitter and say they did get theirs. So they are being shipped out, and I would have ordered mine before I talked about it. So hopefully I get mine sometime. Cash? Gross. I bring comics to get signed. Okay. Ban all non-comic products from advertising. Save Hostess snack cakes, which are naturally grandfathered in. Okay, that's a good attitude. Can you do an impression of your wife? Yeah, I can do a flawless one, but I'm not gonna because I don't want to like cause strife. That made her laugh. So I always bring cash, mainly looking to check out and support local artists. I appreciate that, Josh. That's awesome. Let's see. I always feel the same way. After the pandemic, I decided not to do shows anymore. I enjoy doing the online thing now. Don't have to worry about competing with placement. I love the other artists, though. That's cool. That's cool. I usually go with my portfolio. There's a right, and I want to meet as many artists as possible. Of course, a lot of people bring their portfolio to get advice or maybe network. I bring other things to get signed, usually ones that are personal to me over key stuff. I like that, and an Excel list of stuff I need. That's very prepared. Sometimes I bring a boom cash. I make a list in my head of what books, action figures, etc. to buy. It's very easy to get distracted at like some of these big conventions. Oh, book. Book, yeah. I'm a little late for this, but oh, hi. Tell you what, double salute. Cash, and you go looking for art books. Thank you, Victor. I go with a list of gaps in my back issues to get. Totally. See a lot of people like flipping through, the back issues to get that stuff. Have I read Astro City or Aerosmith from Kurt Busiek? Not as much as I should. I need to catch up on both of those. Maybe check out Boss Logic. Don't know that one. Alex Maleev, Adi Granov. I do like Adi Granov. Chris Schweitzer, Frank Cho. I've met Frank Cho before. Frank Miller. Met Frank Miller before. Totally up for doing that again. James Tynan. I would like to meet James Tynan. That would be very interesting. Jim Lee. He'll have a huge line. I'll never get to in front of him. Jim Shooter. I feel like he'd hate me for some, because I've been critical of him. And I don't think I think he did a lot of good stuff. Jim Zub. Love Jim Zub. Love Jim. He's great. Joe Quesada. I'd never get close to him. I don't think either. John Romita Jr. I would love to meet. Yep. Rob Liefeld. I've actually got a photo with him from the last time I went to New York Comic Con. I don't think he knows who I am. That's okay. Ryan Otley. Ryan and I know each other really well. Yep. Those are good suggestions. First time catching a live stream. Love your content. Glad I could do a quick impromptu. I probably won't do this for too much longer. I think an hour is probably plenty of time for like such an impromptu talking about the convention and that. Let's see. I take it that not all creators have got a Square or similar point of service debit credit services. They're pretty economical now. You can't count on them all having that. I think a lot of them do have the ability to take credit cards these days. But even when they do, internet can be spotty sometimes. Oh, look at this. Joseph Sawyer. Thank you. From the EU. It's never easy catching you live. It's great to join the fun for once. Thank you for the love and insight you have for our favorite medium. That's so kind of you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the super chat. Werther Deladera, Something is Killing Children is there. Ooh, I do like Something is Killing the Children. That would be cool. I'm bringing a list of back issues, also bringing some Spawn drawings to get Todd's signature, and some Transformers figures. Very fun. Also my first time catching you. Nice to see you, Black Manic. Thank you. Aw, shucks, just got here. Well, I'm not quite done, but I'm running out of things to say. I'm just now I'm doing crowd work. Hey, you over there, what's your job? Oh, I thought I'd be getting something boring. Look at this guy. Oh, I'm Mr. So-and-so. Doing some crowd work. I met Jim Shooter and had him sign Team America 1. Respect to Jim for signing that. Not everybody would want to do that. Talking about credit cards and stuff, there will always be people that just want to deal in cash, right? Because then you don't have to pay the taxes. Jimmy Palmiotti has written with his wife on their run on Harley Quinn. Yes, I know. I respect them both. I would like to meet them a lot. They're great. Maybe talk to Wes Craig about the end of Deadly Class and the start of Kaya. Sure. Well, I'm really close with Rick Remender, I feel, so I could talk to him too. Oh, he's not here this year. Never mind. I bring lots of cash and my boyfriend to carry all the stuff I buy. Nice. I love it. Hope you're having a blast. I'm having a good time. I'm glad I'm here. Why don't they make the whole plane out of the black box? What's the deal with airplane food? I think it tastes great. What's the deal? Mr. Beginning, are you looking to buy any specific comics or toys merch? No, I'm not looking to buy anything specific. I'd be surprised if I don't buy anything. I probably will. but there's nothing specific. Merchandise, generally, I'm going to feel like I can find that stuff online because I'm not really looking necessarily for something old or out of print, but I'll just find what catches my eye. Look at this. Maybe you can do an interview with Philip Kennedy Johnson. His Action Comics and Bond comic are insanely great. Sounds interesting. I haven't read Philip Kennedy Johnson's work, so that's a blind spot for me right now, but I appreciate the recommendation. That's cool. Let's see. Sue Orzu did some covers for Something is Killing the Children. Okay. Greetings from Aus. That could be Austria or Australia. I don't know. But greetings either way. Let's say, why do they call it a Comic-Con? It seems pretty pro to me. Well, that was the whole gag with my channel name here. I was talking to pros and going to cons. Pros and cons. That's what it looks like. You should do a separate live for non-US audience. Yeah, it looks like if I went earlier, that would make a huge difference, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's worth talking about briefly. Did I see Werewolf by Night? Won't spoil a single thing, I promise. Just came out, but I liked it. Black and white horror, monster stuff. Thought it was great. Wish it was longer, or wish that there was more. And so I just would say, I hope we get to see more of characters like Jack Russell and Elsa Bloodstone. I would love to see more of them. Put them in Blade, put them in Moon Knight Season 2. I don't care. Put them in Eternals or something like that. Put them in anything. They're awesome. Australia. Awesome. Awesome. Have a great stream. Take care. I'll watch the rest on video on demand. But anyway, I do recommend it. I thought that Werewolf by Night was awesome. I didn't see the monsters. Maybe I will if I've got some extra time. I don't anticipate that. I'll be honest. I don't love Rob Zombie's movies, and I think I've seen them all actually because I like horror, so I'm always curious. So eventually, I sort of get around to it. I used to like White Zombie a lot, and I am friends with Shauna Yasol, the bassist who helped found White Zombie. She married one of my best friends, Chris. It was a beautiful wedding, honestly. It was fantastic. But, yeah, I'm sort of ambivalent towards Rob Zombie these days. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Tales of Zombie. Yeah, that could make a good movie or TV show. Thank you, Seed Hill. Lovely to see you here. What do I think of Tomb of Dracula? It's awesome. That's why I just got that. I was showing this earlier. Like I did go ahead and pick up the replica that like Marvel released this week because I just was in the mood to read some classic Tomb of Dracula stuff. Jerry Conway, Gene Colan, just moody, really cool, really, really cool. Yes, Rob Zombie always puts his wife Sherry Moon Zombie in everything, but whatever, he loves her, so I get it. Chris only likes people that share his name. That's not true. It's not true. What's your favorite horror film? It's gonna change all the time. It really is. There are some classic older ones, I put some of the highest ones as things like Jaws, The Shining, Evil Dead 2. I liked It Follows a lot. I liked what was it? The remake of Suspiria. There's so many good ones, but those are also not true. I also like Skunk Apes. I love them. Yeah, Nope was really cool. That was interesting. Any interest in the Mario movie? I don't know. Maybe. I like Super Mario in general. Here's what I'm more interested in. I'm more interested in going to Super Mario Land in Japan. I'm interested in returning to Japan and visiting Super Mario Land at Universal Studios Japan. So I'll probably do that. I'm so glad to finally be able to watch your stream live. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Double Lightsaber. Yeah, here, I'll do a perfect impression. It's me, Chris Pratt. Hey, it's me, Mario. Wow, things are going really crazy here. Here's what he'll do. When Bowser finally comes out, I bet you that they do make this joke, by the way. Easy there. It's me, Mario. That's what I anticipate him doing. What do you think? What do you think of my Chris Pratt as Super Mario impression? Yeah, The Exorcist is really good. The Exorcist is really good. What's the weather like up there? A little warm, sunny, no clouds in the sky. I'd say high 60s, something like that. Steve, you're at the convention? Definitely would love to see you. I don't know that I'll be anywhere at any specific time, just trying to wander the floor for as much as I can. So please, I would love to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Pretty accurate, my impression. All right. Nailed it. Incredible impression. Jack Black doing Bowser felt okay to me. Yeah, sure. I will say that Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong interests me. That is surprisingly close to the actual voice in the trailer. I'm pretty good at impressions. What do you like to do when you go to Japan? Fight ninjas mostly, to test my skills, make sure that I haven't gotten rusty. I don't know. Eat unique food, visit stores showing like all the different stores sell manga and action figures and gachapon and stuff like that. Go to the shrines too. I wouldn't say interested, mildly curious. Have you seen the Venture Brothers? Of course. Love Venture Brothers. It was hard liking Venture Brothers because I started watching it right when it started, and that show had some long gaps between seasons. That was a show and it got like a little confusing. You're like, wait, where did things leave off the last time I watched it? Or you're like, or I was like, did I watch that season? I was like, I guess I did. You drive those little Mario Karts. Yep, I did do that. Yes, it's a great impression. Have fun. I'll try. When you visit Japan, do you stick to the cities or do you ever wander around rural parts? I'll be honest, I have mostly done cities at this point, and some of that is just because of how much time do I have, I'd love to explore some of the more rural areas, but as soon as you get outside of the city, you got to keep in mind that less people speak English, and my Japanese is pretty terrible, so I assume you'll be at Artist Alley for some time. I hope so. That's probably the area I'll spend the most time at. But I do want to keep going back to the main show floor to get like lots of footage of cosplay, and I want to like get a video of everything. So we'll see. Do I think Superman will appear in the Black Adam film? If he does, only as a post-credits thing. That's all I can see them getting Henry Cavill for right now. I think that it would also distract too much if you put him anywhere in the main movie. If you're going to make a movie about a different character, you can't talk about a character that's sort of bigger. Do you visit the toy shops? Yeah, absolutely I do. Akihabara is a great area for exploring that stuff. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you as usual in the live stream. I hope so. Thank you for stopping by, Joe. That's nice of you. Venture Brothers is my comfort show. Yep. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have Adult Swim. I don't have cable, so I didn't know that they kept repeating that. That's really cool. I would love to catch up. Where is Mario? Take me to Mario. Yeah, that's how I get around. Nice to see you as well. Thank you for being here as always. I think the country area in Kyoto temples are probably okay for travel for people. I've been there. I have been there, and I think I'll go back there the next visit. So we'll see. An Indian comic book company, Holy Cow Entertainment, was started by an artist who was heavily inspired by Michael Turner. Okay. Fan of Venture Brothers since it started too. I'm glad that they're gonna like sort of get a movie to wrap things up, you know, a TV movie. So that's nice. You're big in Scotland. I'd love to visit Scotland very, very much. I would really love to visit Scotland, maybe Glasgow or something like that. We'll see. I don't know. I would really like to. Only 2 words you should learn in Japanese: konnichiwa and arigato. Well, I think I know more than that. Also, konnichiwa is, yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay for just hello, and arigato is okay for thank you. But there are variations you should know there. You know, if it's evening, konbanwa. If it's morning, Ohio. If you're actually trying to greet someone, maybe more like hajimemashite. If I'm going to say arigato, am I saying arigato gozaimasu? Am I saying domo arigato? You know, it depends. Yeah. Or am I trying to tell them that the food is like really number one? There's all sorts of different stuff. Let's see. Do you and your wife call each other Chrissy with an Italian American accent like on The Sopranos? Yeah, I'm always like, hey, Chrissy, get me the cocaine. Made her laugh. Late to the party, but I'm glad to see you're not stuck in a stairwell. No, I'm just stuck in a hotel room. I'm not stuck here. Yeah, did not get stuck. Probably will never get stuck in a stairwell again. I think I learned my lesson. I think I did. So who out there is going to New York Comic Con at all? Nihongo Josu. Nihongo hanasemasu ka? Soshi. Yeah, I'll do a stairwell stream next time. That'll finally get somebody's attention to come rescue me. Let's see. I'm doing Japanese lessons on Duolingo currently. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I still feel bad at it. I think that the only way to get good at any language is immersion. You know, you really have to like put yourself in a situation where you're actually talking to someone. Are you still reading Slam Dunk? I have ordered the first volume, but it's like I ordered that a long time ago. I'm still waiting on that to get delivered. It's there. Slam Dunk is not currently getting like reprinted or anything. So. Let's go Mets. Yeah, I can get behind that as long as you're not saying let's go Yankees. I can get behind rooting for the Mets. Red Sox guy here. Remember, I grew up in Boston. Am I going to see Wakanda Forever? Absolutely, I'm going to see it. Absolutely, and I'm going to hope that it's good. I have a lot of faith in the director. I do. Everything he's done, I've seen, and I like it. It does seem weird to make a Black Panther movie without T'Challa. That still seems weird to me that they would like sort of let. It's an important character, and I get how they're being respectful to Chadwick Boseman. I do get how they're being respectful to him, but I also think that that's an important character for a lot of people out there. And so, in some ways, I don't think it would be that disrespectful to recast and keep such a prominent Black character and such a cool Black character there. I know that there are other people that have played Black Panther, but T'Challa is it's important, you know? It'd be like, you know, say Henry Cavill died and they were like, we're not going to recast Superman. You know, I'd be like, what? That's a really important character. I think Black Panther T'Challa is really important. Living for your live tweets about New York Comic Con. Thank you, Mariah. I will definitely try to throw in like a couple like photos and stuff on Twitter about like the kind of crazy stuff I'm seeing. Oh, folks, here's what I wanted to catch today, and I wasn't fast enough. Here's on New York Comic Con. If I'm gonna try to capture like video, I'm gonna miss so many cool cosplay things that are just like passing by, and the crowd is gonna like block me from being able to see them. Okay. It drives me nuts because you see so many cool things at these big Comic Cons, and you need to be fast. And I'll get a lot, but not everything. And I saw something on the street today. I really wanted to get video for all of you, and I wasn't fast enough. all of a sudden, like I'm hearing one of my favorite songs. I love the Weeknd song "Blinded by the Light," and I'm hearing it blasting as I'm walking down the street. All of a sudden, through the traffic comes a trike. Like the two wheels up front. Actually, it had two in the back, so not quite trike, but a trike design, open air motorcycle. Who's driving it? The Mandalorian. His passenger, Baby Grogu. Oh my God, I wanted to get like a video of that. It drives by and I turn and I go, Chrissy, wait here. I'm gonna try to get this. And I like run because I'm like, please let him hit a red light. If he hits a red light, I can get ahead of him. First one, it's a green light. And I go, I can maybe make it if the next one is like, because I was just barely behind him, but I need to get in front of him. I was just barely behind. And the next one's a green light and he just like way took off. And I was like, darn it, I really wanted to get that for all of you. It was so entertaining seeing this trike with the Mandalorian is driving. I mean, he had the full helmet and he's driving the trike open air, just blasting. Ooh, I'm blinded by the light. Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. Oh, well. Isn't it Blinding Lights by The Weeknd? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It is. I misspoke because I was getting all excited. I should cosplay as Stan Lee and never break character. I think I'm probably a little too fat still to play Stan Lee. I hope he is recast for the next time. I'm okay with mourning Chadwick this time around. I would just hate never seeing T'Challa again. I kind of feel the same way. I hope we do get T'Challa again. I get what they're doing, and I appreciate them being respectful because Chadwick was a great actor who did a great job at that role. It's really sad that he passed away, that like nobody really knew that was going to happen. He was so young too. So that is sad. And I do have faith that they could put together a really good movie. They've got a rock solid roster of like a supporting cast there to build on. And Namor's a pretty interesting character. So we'll see. Is it disappointing to you that G.I. Joe hasn't really been successful in the movies? Yes and no. I would love G.I. Joe to be more popular in general so that I get more G.I. Joe because I love G.I. Joe. But I like the classified line, and I'm getting the Larry Hama comics. So I am getting the G.I. Joe that I like. In order for G.I. Joe to survive, I do think it needs to start appealing to people other than my generation. It needs to reinvent itself. Here's the only thing that hampers it. The brand name G.I. Joe is very American. Whereas the story, it could be very international. If Action Force was what it was known by better, you could basically change that to be a team of spies or a team of commandos. You could really get some worldwide flavor there. And, there's no reason why that couldn't be, something like these days, the Fast and the Furious or something, like if you, or video games like Modern Warfare, Call of Duty stuff. There's no reason why it can't be that, but it's called G.I. Joe. So that's American. So you got to like, and to sort of be rah about American military, well, that's not necessarily going to appeal with everybody these days. Not enough anyway. So that's its tricky thing that you have to find a way to get around. Let's see. Just announced, Joe Quesada draws covers for Batman 131 and 132, and I think we can see more stuff from him in the future. I'm not surprised to see that. Obviously Joe Quesada has a lot of friends in the industry, including at his competitors. So if he's not with Marvel anymore, yeah, why not do something that he hasn't been able to do in a while? His Sword of Azrael stuff was really cool back in the day. Right, yeah. Daniel's spelling out this. G.I. Joe was known as Action Force over here in Europe. And yet, I don't know that that's known well enough worldwide. I think Action Force is not super well known worldwide. Because I've looked into G.I. Joe, and like it's still called, say, G.I. Joe in Japan, even though it wasn't very popular there. I think it was called something else entirely also in South America. It was called something like something Commandos, and I can't remember. So like, it had a different name for each region. But if you're going to make a movie or something like that that's going to appeal to everybody, you probably got to go with the best known part of the brand, which would be G.I. Joe. But that name just sounds so American. But there's no reason why it couldn't, like, I guess you call it G.I. Joe, but I think you make it sort of like an international team. They sort of tried to do that in that first Rise of Cobra movie, but it just wasn't that good. I think that there are good ideas there where, like, you do start by focusing on a small squad, like about 5 G.I. Joes, like, but I think you got to get the right ones. You got to get the right ones. Wait, what's that? What's your Joe name again? Don't worry, like it's aimed just here. You can like do anything you want over there. Yeah. No, you can't see the bed. Chrissy's getting ready for. We're going out to see my friend Evan in a little bit, so I was just making sure that, like, you guys are looking at me, not her, while she decides what to wear and stuff. Trust me, I don't want to get demonetized or anything like that. Oh, thank you. In Brazil, it was called Commandos M. How do I pronounce that? A cow? I don't know. Yes. Captain America, you're right, has become an international thing, but didn't they call his first movie something a little different in foreign markets? I feel like they did. And also, like, Captain America is one person, and he's got a specifically American history. I think that's okay. Just like James Bond is British, but everybody loves him. Captain America can be American, and that's okay, because that's one person. But if you're talking about a team that saves the world, and you're saying, like, it's only the American military that can save the day, that's not going to appeal to China or something like that. So, like, you got to just know that. I don't know. It translates as Commandos in Action. Okay. Oh, this is how I pronounce it. Commando in Axio. Okay. Thanks for the tips there. Yeah, I knew that it was called something like that. Whoa, look at that. Jim Mahfood said you guys are pals. There's another guy that I'd love to see tomorrow. I know I'm forgetting a couple people, just to be clear. Yes, I hope to see Jim. He said he'd have some new stuff to see at the convention tomorrow. So I'm excited to see that. And if any of you are going to the convention, I really recommend stopping by. I almost got that out. Stopping by Jim Mahfood's table and getting his pop-up art book. It's incredible. Now, it's something like $50, but it's big, it's thick, it's really high quality, and it's just amazing. Like, you open it and these huge art pieces just sort of like explode off the page into 3 dimensions. It's so cool. And I'll be honest, one time I went to Half Price Books and they had a pop-up book of The Spirit by Will Eisner in full color. And I was like, yeah, maybe not right now. And then, like, I got home and I was like, wait a minute, I really wanted that. Why did I not get this very affordable, very cool pop-up book by Will Eisner? Fear of missing out, maybe. Are you interested in Hickman's new Marvel project at all? I'm always interested because Hickman has done some really incredible comics. If I could meet him, that would be great. Yeah. Let's see. Top Gun Maverick seemed to do pretty well, so it could be doable. It could be. It could be. It has to be just done well. That's the main thing. I did not dislike the recent Snake Eyes movie. I know that wasn't popular with everybody. I didn't dislike it. I thought it would have connected with people more than it did, because to me, I liked it. But I've got other friends that are fans of G.I. Joe that really didn't care for it. And glasses are a little off. Oh. Anyway. Sadly, the only movie about the Spirit wasn't very good. That's putting it kindly, Captain Action. The Spirit movie is flat out garbage. For a little while on Patreon, I was trying to do extras for my supporters, and I do have up there, if you look, audio commentaries that I did for The Spirit and for Ghost Rider. And I might have done one other. It didn't really seem to take off, be like the thing that my audience wanted, so I only did a few, but yeah. I've got an extra glow about me today. It's probably just the weird lighting in the room. That's probably what it is. Vacation energy, yeah. The Spirit is one of the only movies I've walked out on. Good for you. It's terrible. That one, I was stunned at how bad that was. Because I was like, even if I haven't, I don't know. Frank Miller just did not do a great job on that one. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up, folks, because I didn't really have any specific plans. I wanted to talk about what I do at conventions. I wanted to sort of show you what I do with my backpack and stuff. But it's about time for me to get going because I am meeting a friend, my friend from college, Evan, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so I'm going to go to the convention for just tomorrow, Saturday. I'll be recording as much video as I can to make an episode on this channel that'll sort of like let you feel like you got to experience what New York Comic Con is. I hope. I'm going to do the best I can with that. And that'll take me a while to edit because it's going to be so many pieces of video. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going to get like piece after piece, and I'll probably have to like come up with like, different like music audio tracks to lay under it. So it'll take a while to put that together. But yeah. Oh yeah, I just want to acknowledge that. Shin Matthias, I saw that. Keanu Reeves was on Jimmy Kimmel promoting Berserker, his comic. And one thing I like is every time Keanu Reeves has done any sort of interview, he always is crediting his team. So he mentioned Matt Kent, he mentioned Ron Garney. I was thinking Ron Wagner, but it's Ron Garney, right? Anyway, yeah, I always appreciate how good he is about like calling out his whole team. All right, folks, thank you so much for being here. Silly little live stream. Hope it was fun. Shirley, we miss you. Thank you so much for watching out for our little fishies. And I hope to see you guys Monday. I can't promise it because I am on like a trip and things are a little nebulous. But if I can, I will do a live stream very much like this. I'll talk about the news of the week, and I'll recap the Comic-Con, and that'll be great. See you real soon. Thanks for watching. Double salute at the same time. Keep reading comics.